thought I would just make myself a quick video on my way home from shopping. Okay, so this is February 7th or 8th, I think, and I started Carnivore. So actually the second, because I had a little cheat on the first day. I think it was a clementine. I thought, Jesus, Charlotte, you can't even get one day under your belt. So actually, for sure, since the 2nd of January, I started keto May 4th, 2018. I can put my sunglasses on. And I was over 230 pounds. I was 58 years old. I had spent my whole life being ruled by food, like many people. Up and down, up and down. I think I probably lost the same 50 pounds half a dozen times. I did it all. I actually started in my teens with exercise and all these diets. I did Weight Watchers and Tops. I did Overeaters Anonymous for a whole year, and that helped too, because I truly was, and like, it was my drug, you know, like actually when my kids were little and I would get them on the bus, right, because I was a stay-at-home mom, so, you know, like, I couldn't be drunk and I couldn't smoke weed, and so I had to have something for myself. It was just a crazy life, and it was food, and I would get them on the bus and I would just cook myself this great big breakfast, bagels and toast and eggs and bacon and just everything, and just eat that, and then all day, like, just eat. And how I was raised was like that. Food is love, and I actually raised my kids that way too. But I was raised in the 60s and in the 70s, and it was a different kind of food. I mean, you know, like, we had like some processed food, but you know, it was an awful lot of home cooked meals. By the time I was in my 30s and I was raising my own kids, that was the onslaught of the microwave and all the Hungry Mans and fucking Scarios, and that's how I fed my kids, and that's how I ate, and always thinking about food, always ruled by food, you know, and always on a diet, and always thinking about food. It was just awful. And so anyway, at 58 years old, I had a heart attack, and I had to have a stent put in, and they put me on all kinds of meds. And so for a whole year, I actually had to move back with my father because I had to take some time off work, and I was just so sick. And I thought, fuck, is this how it's going to end at fucking 58 years old? And I got bigger and bigger, and I was on all these meds, and I could hardly get up the stairs, and I was so depressed. And I thought, okay, I got to give it one more shot. That's how I treated tobacco addiction my whole life. I've been off cigarettes for like 7 years, but I had many quits before that, always trying to quit, you know, and finally it took. But I have learned, because I've had long quits before, that actually nicotine has a awfully short shelf life. As do carbs, excuse me, I stutter. But you know what? Actually, Carnivore has helped my stuttering. It has. I mean, God, there were times, well, all through my childhood where I couldn't even say my name. So as I have gotten older and also more confident, it has gotten better. But it's even way better now. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Okay, so I had to turn the ship around. So I work with a bunch of young gals. One of them was on keto, so this was in the spring of 2018, and so I started to research it, and I thought, oh, this is all food that I love, like meat and cheese and fat. Like, I could live on pork chop fat. So I started keto, and for the first 6 months I was so strict, and it worked so well, but I was so damaged after like all these years. I had so many things wrong with me. I have had ulcerative colitis since I was 30 years old. It was so bad, and awful lot of pain and depression and so much inflammation. I was covered in skin tags, and it was just, I was unwell. But keto started to work, and especially when I was really strict with it. And so I took off, I think, like 25 pounds and then 30 pounds. Then I stalled, and then I started to actually play around with it. I would have a cheat day, or like it actually wasn't a lot of stuff, because I understand that carbs to me are addictive and they're poison. But I would have a slack day, and then I'd get back at it, and it was like a step ahead and then a step back. And but I was doing okay, and I was actually still feeling well. Then this past Christmas, right? But like I still have, I think, about 30 pounds to lose. And I was going to the gym, and but it was just like, God, I have to even feel better than this. And with all the videos that I was watching, they kept talking about carnivore. And at first, when I first started keto and I had heard about carnivore, I thought, there's no way that I could do that, just meat. And but I started it on the 2nd of January, and honest to God, I feel fantastic. I just came home from shopping, and I have a trunk full of meat, steak and bacon and beef, and that's all I want to eat. Actually, when I started, I was eating shrimp and chicken and some eggs, and what I have learned from actually watching all these people is that beef is it. And my dad is a hunter, and so we have a freezer full of venison too, but I've always had an aversion to game, and I don't know, I think it's just mental. But about a week or so ago, I cooked some up for him, and I had a venison chop. It was fucking delicious. So I'm gonna start to incorporate that in my diet more. And I've tried organ meats, and I gag. So you know what? I feel so good on beef, and I'm 61 years old, and I've turned the ship around. And for the first 2 or 3 weeks on carnivore, because I had been stalled in my weight loss on keto for like 4 or 5 months, I started to gain weight, and I was only eating like only meat and eggs, and only like once or twice a day, and I was freaking out. I thought, what the hell? And so then I just kept on researching it, and I just kept eating meat, and I'd be at work in the staff room chewing on a pork chop bone, and all of the girls with their yogurt and their bagels, just like that cave woman. And but then everybody kept saying, wow, you look good, Holy, you look good. And I feel good, I really do. It's hard to believe, but I mean, it actually makes sense. I truly believe this is the proper human diet. But as I was saying about cigarettes, I mean, I'm an addict. I am a carb addict. I'm a nicotine addict. I'll always be a puff a day from a pack a day. And I'll always be a puff away from a pack a day, and I'll always be a cookie away from a pack a day. I know that about myself, so I have to quit fucking testing it, because I know it to be true. And the stricter you are on carnivore, the more benefits. I just energy, and actually the scale has only just started to go down, but the inches, God, the inches are just like, my waist is getting smaller. This could save the world. This could save a lot of people. And I'm not talking about people that are healthy, eating plants. I'm talking about people like me with autoimmune and ulcerative colitis. It's completely gone. All my skin tags are gone. My fucking depression is lifted. It's magic. I swear to God, if you are in your 50s or in your 60s and like you've had all these health issues, just try it. It isn't going to kill you for a month. Just try it. Just, it'll work. It will work. I promise. It's a whole new life, and all you can do is set the example and also plant the seeds. And I have a tough row to hoe, because I have 3 children, all in their early 30s. They're complete smart asses, and they're very stubborn. And if I'm empathy, then my kids are empathy run amok. My oldest, she told me at 9 years old, right, we were having supper, and her sister said to her, that's from a pig, we were eating pork chops. And, Mom, is this from a pig? I said, yes. She was 9 years old. She's 35 now. She's never had a fucking morsel of meat since. She is married to a vegan. So, I mean, I have my work cut out for me. And then my middle daughter is a vegetarian. Then my son, he eats the standard diet with lots of carbs. They all eat lots of carbs. I have so much guilt, because that's how I fed them, fucking pizza pops and fruit by the loop or whatever the hell. You know, I was a busy mom, and that's how everybody ate, and I have so much guilt now because I know better now, and I try to tell them, and they think I'm crazy because I've had the heart attack, and they think that I'm going to die by bacon. So all I can do is set the example, and you know what? Because they eat carbs all day, plants and carbs, and they're all exhausted. They're all fat, you know, and they think they're healthy and that I'm unhealthy. It's just hopefully they'll learn, you know. They think it's a cult, like the Hare Krishna, like, Mom, it's Trish and Steph, we've come to take you home, don't eat that meat. But you know what, folks? Eat the meat. I swear to God, eat the meat.